All right, hey guys, I want to do a quick update video. First, congratulating you all on an amazing testing period. In a 12-week cycle where we saw a lot of adversity between getting kicked out of our building more or less and coming out here to the country and all of the effort that you guys put into making sure that you still could stay consistent and make it out to the gym, the compromised equipment situation that we have here, sharing racks, having to start different parts, Part Bs before Part As. Through all of that, you guys did an awesome job, working hard, staying safe, and reaping the rewards for that. So with that, I want to congratulate you all and thank you for continuing to stay consistent and put in the work week in and week out. I wanted to talk a little bit about this next cycle and what it's going to mean for you guys in the gym on a day in and day out basis. So first thing that you're going to see in this cycle, following a very heavy and intense cycle like you saw in the last 4 weeks of the last cycle, we are going to go ahead and drop the intensity of our movements a little bit. So you're going to see much lighter weights being used. So usually weights in that 65 to 75% range is where we're going to work this cycle. We're also going to see along with that some tempos and pauses. So a tempo is basically using a rep cadence or a cadence to designate how long the lowering portion, the pause, and the rising portion in a lift take. So an example of this would be the second day's back squats. We have a tempo on that dictates that you're going to take 3 seconds to get into the bottom of a squat, 1 second pause in the bottom, and then come up as fast as you can and no pause at the top. So now, what tempos and pauses do for us, there's a couple of different things. The first thing is it reinforces quality technique. So if we don't use tempos, we tend to rely a little bit more on like the stretch reflex in the bottom of a squat, or we tend to just move too quickly throughout the lift and allow ourselves to get loose because we're trying to get as many reps done as we can. Okay? Now, there's a time and a place for that, so long as technique is solid, but when we start a new 12-week cycle, our ligaments and joints tend to be a little bit banged up, we're a little bit overwhelmed by the heavy weight, so using tempos and pauses can allow us to reinforce quality technique because we're being more diligent, we're being more thoughtful of how we're moving throughout that exercise. Okay? It also allows, like I said, those tendons and joints and ligaments to kind of regain their integrity. They're pretty banged up over all of that impact, be that in the Olympic lifts where we're lifting really heavy or in the power lifts where we're also going heavy and using the stretch reflex. So using those tempos and pauses is just going to go ahead and help us make sure that we're getting ourselves healthy and reinforcing good habits again now that we're starting a new 12-week cycle. The second thing I wanted to talk about is what's going to happen with our Part Cs this cycle. So now we're used to seeing more of like that Metcon style Part C where it's varied every single day. There's a lot of different movements that we're going to do. Although they tend to be pretty short, some of them can get longer, 7 to 10 minutes. What you're going to see instead during this cycle is really what I would say more simply is extra credit work coupled with very little rest. Okay? What I saw last cycle was that we needed a little bit more nuts and bolts strength training. Okay? So we didn't really get enough of that accessory work in, that extra credit work to really see the progress that I would have liked to have seen on our maxes. Okay? I think since the inception of athletics, we've sort of relied on this consistency that we have in our programming to allow us to continue to see progress. Now that we've been open for a while, a lot of you have been lifting with us for a while, that rate of progress is starting to slow down, and when that happens, we need to go ahead and we need to do more work, all right? We need to bring in these exercises that are going to allow us to progress in the movements that we want to progress in from a weight and intensity standpoint. So, a good example of this, I think, is reflected in what you're going to see in Part B from day 2. So this is a 9-minute EMOM with Bulgarian split squats, okay, so First minute, 4th minute, 7th minute is right leg, 2nd minute, 5th minute, 7th minute is the left leg, and then there's an inverted row in there as well. So we're coupling these accessory exercises that we want to get done with very, very short rest periods. And let me tell you, I just did this today, and I got more of a lung burn, like a Fran lung, on this than I've gotten on any Part C that we've done in quite a long time. So if you think that just because we're bringing more of this extra credit style Part C into the workouts, that if you think that you're not going to get out of breath, you'll be sorely mistaken, you're going to find. And I really think that this is going to pay great dividends for us, both in terms of allowing us to see some strength gain, and allowing during beach season for us to gain some muscle mass as well, which everybody wants, right? So with that being said, those are kind of the changes that we're going to see this cycle. We're going to kind of switch up the days a little bit as well, so that you're going to see some different movements. If you're only here 3 days a week, you might hit some movements that you don't get to hit as often. So that'll be refreshing, I'm sure. If you have any other questions, feel free to follow up with me. I'm always open, as you guys know. Last update, I didn't put this on here, but if you're coming in the mornings, you're going to see Josie pretty frequently for the next 8 weeks or so. I'm running the Owatonna High School Hockey Youth Camp during the summer, so we're going to be working with the high school team, actually, not youth, I misspoke. But we've got that 8-week program going on for those guys in the morning that conflicts with the morning class time. I'll poke my head in every now and then, make sure you guys are all staying out of trouble. But Josie's going to be running those classes Monday through Thursday. All right. So with that, hope you guys enjoyed this cycle. I'm really looking forward to seeing the progress that everybody makes from it.